President Bush is on a mission in Africa to showcase the success of an historic foreign policy, the president's emergency plan for AIDS relief, known as PEPFAR. The 5-year, $15 billion plan, the largest commitment ever to combat a single disease, is due to expire this year. In a move to extend the program, Mr. Bush used his State of the Union address to urge Congress to double funding and approve another $30 billion for the next 5 years.
And our emergency plan for AIDS relief is treating 1.4 million people. We can bring healing and hope to many more.
The president invited 2 guests as living proof of his policy's results, 35-year-old nurse Tatu Masangi from Tanzania and her daughter Faith.
What I'm telling the American is that their money is not just lost, yeah? It works for African people.
When Tatu first learned she was pregnant, a blood test showed she was also HIV positive, a diagnosis she knew could be a death sentence.
What can I do now? Oh, God.
But Tatu found hope at a clinic run by the Elizabeth Glaser Pediatric AIDS Foundation and funded by the president's initiative. They gave her free, life-saving antiretroviral drugs she calls her ARVs.
Without PEPFAR, it will be a terrible situation, because ARVs we have to buy in previous, and our income is very low, so we couldn't afford to get ARVs.
Tatu says her 2-year-old Faith is alive today thanks to medicine from an American-backed mother-to-child transmission program that's prevented more than 150,000 infants from contracting HIV.
Because American people help her to come HIV negative, then she's free from infection. I think she's very happy, very healthy and very happy.
What has happened in the last 3 years is transformational. It has turned societies from complete despair to utter hope.
Mark Dybel is the president's global AIDS coordinator. He says partnerships with the local governments, tribal leaders, and the faith community have produced radical results.
We know that 1.4 million people right now are receiving antiretroviral therapy that wouldn't have received it before. And we know that already we've saved over 3 million life years. 3 million years of life have been extended for parents and teachers and healthcare workers. And it actually creates what they call a Lazarus effect, where people who were dying are now back to life.
In addition to drugs, U.S. taxpayers also provide support for 7 million people infected with HIV. Nearly 3 million are children, many of them orphans because of AIDS. But there's still no cure for AIDS. Those infected with the virus need treatment the rest of their lives. Tom Hart, legislative director with the One campaign, says that makes continuing American support critical.
Treatment 5 years ago was not viewed to be possible in the poorest parts of the world. That has completely changed. But we can't take our eye off the ball that the disease continues to outpace us.
But in Congress, the bill to reauthorize the president's plan is under fire. Some Republicans charge that this highly successful program is being hijacked. They object to new proposals by Democrats that would end requirements to fund abstinence education programs, that would give greater funding access to family planning groups like Planned Parenthood that promote or provide abortions, and would drop the requirement that groups getting money must take a stand against legalized prostitution and human trafficking. Some argue legalizing prostitution would slow the spread of AIDS. With broad bipartisan support for the fight against AIDS, though, insiders are hopeful a compromise will be reached.
Political arguments always are going to happen in Washington. But I think what's so critical is those are arguments on the edge of this debate. The life-saving success of this initiative is really not in dispute.
With millions of lives at stake half a world away, the president hopes Congress will reauthorize his global AIDS plan before the November elections. If not, the project some say may be Bush's most lasting legacy may not be a top priority for a new administration. Legacy concerns aside, Tatu Masangi hopes American generosity will keep the funds flowing because many Africans owe their lives to the treatment U.S. taxpayers provide.
After PEPFAR, now people are getting ARVs. And they are walking majestically like other people. They are happy, yeah? They are working. We are working as normal people.
Melissa Charbonneau, CBN News, Washington.